Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 8 math, and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter expressions and properties. The lessons we came to cover today are evaluate rational expressions, identity terms and coefficients, properties of addition and multiplication, distributive property. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So please, let's just start with the chapter expressions and properties. We're going to start with the lesson evaluate radical expressions. Evaluate the expression for y equals 12. Simplify your answer. Y over 12. 12 divided by 12, that is 1. Let's just start with the test questions. Evaluate the expression for t equals 9. Simplify your answer. T over 9. Just replace t with 9. So that is 9 over 9. So the correct option is 1. The correct option is option number 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Evaluate the expression for w equals 15. Simplify your answer. 15 divided by w. So replace the 15 with the value that is 15 divided by 15. The answer is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. 12, 15 divided by w equals 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Evaluate the expression for j equals 3 and k equals 6. That is 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 equals the correct option is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 2. Evaluate the expression for m equals 12. So just replace the variable with a value that is m over 4, that is 12 divided by 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 3. Evaluate the expression for y equals 12. Y over 12. Just replace the variable y with a value that is 12 divided by 12. So the correct option is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. Evaluate the expression for r equals 9 and s equals 18. That is 18. S equals 18. R is 9. So that is 18 over 9. The correct option is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 2. Evaluate the expression for y equals 18. Simplify your answer. So y equals 18. That is 18 over 6. So 6 times 3 is 18. The correct option is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Evaluate the expression for v equals 7. So replace the variable v with a value. So that is option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is identify terms and coefficients. Let's just start with the lesson. Look at the following expression 4v square. How many terms they are? There is only one term, right? A monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of numbers and variables. Terms are monomials. They are added together to form monomials. Sorry, polynomials. Addition of a negative term is often known as subtraction. Basically, if you have 4v square, that is a term or monomial. Term it is, right? If you have another term a, alone that is a term. If you write them like this, 4v square plus a, then that makes the polynomial. Got it? So alone they are the terms. Let's just start with the test questions. Look at the following expressions. 4 minus k cube minus 5m. What is the coefficient of m? Here we have negative 5m, right? So the number that is with the written with the variable is the coefficient of the variable. So negative 5 is the coefficient of the variable m. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. Negative 5 it is. Look at the following expression 2v. What is the coefficient of V. Two V, what is the coefficient of V? The coefficient of V is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Look at the following expression 3 plus 2s plus 2s square. Which of the following are terms in the expression? Two s and 3 are the terms. Option number 1 is the correct option. Look at the following expression. What is the coefficient of D? So the coefficient of D is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Look at the following expression 3 minus 5q. What is the coefficient of q? The coefficient of q is negative 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Look at the following expression. What is the coefficient of n? Coefficient of n is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Look at the following expression. Two minus j, the coefficient of j is negative 1. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself for today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is properties of addition and multiplication. Which property of addition is shown 2 plus 9 equals 9 plus 2? 2 plus 9 equals 9 plus 2. That is the commutative property. Commutative property always, for the addition, commutative property always holds. You just have to change the position of the addends, right? So that is the commutative property. Let's just start with the test questions. Which property of multiplication is shows 5 times 9 times 6 equals 5 times 9 times 6. That is the associative property of multiplication. Whenever three numbers are involved, two of just the position of the numbers are changed, order of multiplication is changed, the number are same on the both sides. That is the associative property. Option number one is the correct option. Which property of addition is shown? 7 plus 2 plus 6 equals 7 plus 2 plus 6. So which is the correct option? That is the associative property of addition. Option number one is the correct option. Which property of multiplication is shown? 4 times 8 equals 8 times 4. That is the commutative property. Option number one is the correct option. Which property of addition is shown? That is again the commutative property. Option number two is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is distributive property. Simplify the expression 2 times 2b plus 1. So you have to multiply 2 times. Basically, that is the distributive property. The distributive property looks like this. A times B plus C. You can write it as A times B plus A times C. Let's just start with the test questions. Two times 3j plus 4. So 2 times 3j is 6j and 2 times 4 is 8. So the correct option is 6j plus 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, 6j plus 8. Two times 2b plus 1. So 2 times 2b and 2 times 1. 2 times 2b is 4b and 2 times 1 is 2. So that is 4b plus 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 4b plus 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 4b plus 2. 7 times 1 plus 3p. So which is the correct option? 7 times 1 is 7. And 7 times 3 is 21. That is 7 plus 21p. Option number 1 is the correct option. Five times 1 plus 6c. That is 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times 6 is 30c. Option number 1 is the correct option. N plus 1 times 3. 3 times n is 3n plus 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Six times 1 plus 2 is b. So which is the correct option? 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 2 is 12. So that is 6 plus 12z. Two plus 7c times 4. 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 7 is 28. So that is 8 plus 28c. Why wrong? Option number one is the correct option. That is 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 7 is 20. It's the option one is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. We still have 5 minutes. If you have any questions related to the lesson we have just finished, you can ask question. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusion if you have anything. We have finished this chapter. That is the last lesson from the chapter. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm here. You can ask question. We have more than 5 minutes. So please ask question if you have any. I'm waiting for the questions from your side.